Card Ladder.
Now let's talk a little bit of fantasy competition strategy. Although no one who works for Card Ladder, of course, is eligible, none of us and nobody who works for Card Ladder is eligible to win this competition. We are all still competing for fun anyway. So let's talk a little bit about our own fantasy collections and how we settled on those cards. I'll talk a little bit about my collection first. Originally, I had 3 cards, the PSA 10 Prism-based rookies of Mahomes, Baker, and Josh Allen. And the theory I had there was really simple. I just figured football cards would be heating up leading into the NFL preseason, which begins in early August. But then I realized that strategy was way too conservative to have a chance to win this competition. Given that there will be many contestants, I probably need a strategy that has much more upside and much more downside. So after the Bucks knocked off the Nets to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, I cleared out my fantasy collection and I loaded it up with $10,000 worth of Giannis cards. I'm gambling that the Bucks will end up going to the finals and winning, which hopefully, but it's not guaranteed because we have seen historical examples to the contrary, but hopefully that would provide a lot of upside to Giannis's prices because it would be such an instance of exceeding expectations given the sentiment towards the Bucks going to the playoffs this year. All right, Josh, tell us about your fantasy collection. What cards do you have in there, and what is the theory behind it?
Well, I'm a big fantasy football player. I've been playing for years, and my strategy in fantasy football is to draft as many guys as I can that I feel have the upside to get you a 40-point game. I just feel like at the end of the year, it's always the team that has that, like, the guy that way exceeded expectations and blew up and had these monsters. You're never gonna win drafting safe players in the later rounds. You got to go for it all. But in this one, so my strategy was I went to the ladder sort and I reverse sorted by monthly percentage change, and I just picked all the cards that have like tanked the most in the last month, thinking, hey, something's got to, if anything's going to reverse, maybe some of these like really poorly, and I try to pick like players based in those ranks that I thought, could overcome these ridiculous drops. I picked like a Jordan sticker, BGS 8. There's like a LeBron Optic Hollow PSA 10, which has gone down a ton in value. I have a lot of Peyton Manning, oddly enough. His like base stuff has gone down so much. I do have a Giannis. I think I might even had a Trae Young in there. I was trying to mix it up. That strategy's not going to win either. I feel like, Chris, you're probably onto something. You got to just go all in on one thing and hope it just really pans out.
Yeah, and what would be really silly, man, is if I went all in on Giannis. The Bucks do win, but we have like a Mahomes Super Bowl situation where the cards everybody floods the market with their Giannis cards, and it actually ends up going down. And I was right about the outcome, but wrong about the card market. That you really have to be right about a lot of different things to do well in this, I think. Kristina.
Yes.
What is in your fantasy collection?
I took a little bit of a different strategy from you two. I didn't know which sport would heat up over the month of July, and I was worried about the Mahomes Super Bowl issue. So I didn't want an active NBA player. Preseason of NFL, like it's never like the NFL cards, like football cards never went down after postseason. Like, really? So I don't know if a preseason bump will really happen. So I chose one baseball card, one basketball card of a GOAT, and one football card, all of GOATs. And then with my remainder, I set my filter to the remainder of $135. And I just picked what I thought would be the best performing card of that range.
And who were the players?
Were you shocked how many cards were available at that exact price? I had the same thing where I had $240 left, and there was like 30 choices.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. There are cards. I had $99.99 left, and there was dozens at that price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I chose Brady for football.
Oh, big surprise.
Jordan for basketball.
I'm surprised it's not Luka.
And Luka.
I said
Brady and Luka?
I said non-player.
Oh,
Got
okay.
you.
And then
Non-active.
Non-active player, like not active.
And she said GOAT.
And I said go. I did.
That's right.
I did say that.
So Luka.
So baby goat doesn't count.
Okay.
And then I chose Mickey Mantle.
Nice. That's
Nice.
fun.
Yeah. So we'll see. Like, I'll be having a competition within my fantasy of who can do better.
So it's like Amazon versus GME versus.
Yeah. That's fun. Okay, and Nick, last but not least.
Yeah, I was just trying to hedge my bets. That's why I went with the NBA playoff contenders that I thought, okay, the stars of the team, which were horrible decisions. I had Kevin Durant with like half of my budget.
Okay, all right.
With $4,000.
Still time, though.
Yes,
time. Yeah.
fortunately, there's still time. And Donovan Mitchell, like, so I was betting, and cards that were, like, so I was hedging my bets where I was like, okay. Yeah, and then with some baseball guys, like Wander Franco, his cards are, I'm not really following the baseball season, but his cards are always seem to be doing well, so picked him.
Nice. Okay. Good.
So I got to redo pretty much all that, though. I'm keeping the egg in there. I'm keeping the egg in there, though.
The Wander Franco is a nice choice because he just got called up on Sunday to by the Rays. So
he did also mention quickly he does have the egg card in his fantasy portfolio.
ridiculous.
Yes, he does.
And guess what? It was 99 cents when I put it in there. Now it's $7. It's $7.99. But still, I have to take out my other cards, though, so I'll go back down to below 10,000.
Nice. All right. And so we've all discussed some strategies. Let me throw a few more out there. First of all, Babe Ruth cards are on a heater right now in anticipation for a big-time auction that's happening in July of a PSA 9 1933 Gaudi Babe Ruth card that is projected to end in the many millions, perhaps 6, perhaps more, projected perhaps to be the highest-selling sports card at public auction ever. And we do have in card letter 34 Babe Ruth cards, although a lot of them are worth more than $10,000. Babe Ruth might be a place to look. Vintage baseball. None of us talked about vintage baseball in general. Oh, you did. I'm sorry. You have a Mickey Mantle.
I do.
You have a Mickey Mantle.
Thank you.
But Bob Gibson cards, lots of vintage baseball cards, Jackie Robinson cards have been doing well lately. So vintage baseball is an area to look at as well. Let me turn it over to the rest of you guys. Anybody jump in? Are there any other strategies that maybe you didn't play, but that might be interesting or that people might think about trying?
I think that the rare cards is an interesting play right now because, you know, this contest, people kind of think of stuff that sells a lot and like could potentially move up or down and they want to kind of gamble on it. But another strategy is to buy something that you're gambling on whether it actually sells or not and does even have a chance to go up because it might not sell. And some of those might be the big gambles, dice rolls that could pay off. Yeah,
I like that too. Especially if, you know, every month PWCC and Golden have big auctions. Card Ladder tracks Golden, Heritage, PWCC, eBay, obviously. And that might be interesting. Usually when it comes to coverage of like Golden Elite auctions, an auction that does like 50 million in overall sales, Card Ladder traditionally has covered anywhere from 15 to 20 or more million of the Golden auction. So a good chunk of the cash money that's being spent on Golden auctions already has coverage in Card Ladder. So that's a really neat theory.
Keep your eyes and ears open about what's coming up and what's being sold in July that might impact the contest.